Cambridge is an incredibly special place in the UK. I think it's an incredibly special place on the world stage. It's one of, a very small number of places, obviously Silicon Valley being the original example, that can claim to be a technology cluster, a business cluster with a straight face. It's got that critical mass of technical academic expertise, which is often the source of the ideas. You can build great businesses on the back of just being good at business, but the wonderful thing about the businesses that grow out of Cambridge is often they have at their heart some sort of kernel of real cleverness. But you don't just have the clever, you don't just have the clever thing, you have the clever thing and then you drop that into an environment and then things crystallize. It's like kind of crystallizing a cloud, you drop this little crystal in and then all of this accumulated capital, accumulated business expertise, the accumulated connections required to take a good idea and bring it to scale. Those are the things that Cambridge offers, and those are the things that I think it's very hard to find almost anywhere else in the world.
The Cambridge educational experience is unique because it's not just about being in the classroom, it's being part of a collaborative community. So we believe that many of our EMBA participants really learn a lot from each other. It's a lot about collaboration, a lot about learning from each other. It's a lot about taking what they learn here back into the workplace, but also taking what they experience in the workplace back here and sharing with their colleagues.
An institution that has produced close to 90 Nobel Prize winners is a great institution, and all of our students and our participants, especially in the Executive MBA, they do realize that, and they do feel that the educational process is actually very natural in Cambridge.
It's a very broad cross-section of people in that first year, very, very broad range of backgrounds. I'm meeting people, I think, who I wouldn't normally bump into on a day-to-day basis, people in finance, people in marketing, people who've done really incredible stuff, people who on a day-to-day basis between weekends were doing amazing things. And so you'd have these conversations, well, what did you do this time? Oh, I've flown in from Kabul this time. Oh, I've been in Siberia looking for oil, this sort of thing.
Obviously, that's the best thing you can have is your own personal network. It's a network of 53 people that you can tap into. And my experience is that good advice is basically just a phone call away.
The weekend format suits my circumstances perfectly. It means that I can hold down a full-time job, have an active social life and work-life balance, as well as travel to England to undertake the course. One morning I'm running on the Gold Coast, and then the next morning I'm running in Cambridge.
The one thing that really sets this course apart from some of the others, not only is it obviously the very high intellectual standard that A, you need to do to get in, and B, you need to maintain to be able to pass the course, but also there's a really great focus on some of the soft skills. So there's a lot of time spent on how you are perceived as a person, as a leader within your field, how you interact and how you manage others. And they're some of the key training that we often don't have within our day-to-day job.
Where you're trained to actually sell your knowledge by time units as a lawyer. The value you actually build up is the know-how you have. You're not really very accustomed to openly sharing that with others. One of the hard lessons I've learned over the last few years is that if you actually start doing that, which I should have done years before, if you start sharing, if you start being much more open and more open to other people's points of view, you actually get so much more back.
One of the big challenges in business at the moment is the idea of disruption. I mean, it's a big kind of buzzword, and I think it's valid. There are a lot of industries that need to be disrupted and that benefit from being disrupted. But I think the only way that someone can come up with a disruptive idea or a disruptive approach is to think differently to the rest of the people in that industry. And it's really important to be consciously trying to do that, I think. Coming on this course and being exposed to all the different cultural and different industry information and kind of experience that the group has really enables you to think about your own work and your own industry differently.
What I think that the executive program really delivered on was not necessarily to give you that push towards entrepreneurship, but really to provide you with all of the tools that you need when you actually venture out there. It's been quite an interesting journey and not the one that I anticipated when I started this program. I was a lawyer in a law firm and I was just looking to get more skills to help me build my career internally. But eventually, I think, with what I've learned here, the people I've met gave me all the necessary tools and skills to venture out and to actually overcome my fear of setting up my own business. The idea was too strong to let go, and at some point decided if we don't do it now, we're going to regret this for the rest of our lives. And it's been such a roller coaster ride since.